And a very good day to you. Allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Fintan Padraig Shanley, at your service. Or Shan, as they call me round here. You're probably wondering why a fine, upstanding Irish gentleman like myself is living in this hellhole of St. Giles, London, surrounded by these thieves, pickpockets, whores. Yes, some of them do an honest day's work, but most of them don't, I can tell you that. You should hear some of the things they call me. Anyway, sit yourselves down and let me tell you my story. Now, before I begin, have you ever been to Ireland? No? Oh, the land of saints and scholars, they call us. Do you know that when England sank back into paganism, into idolatry, into worshipping false gods, it was we Irish who kept the true faith of the Lord alive. And when the time came, we brought it back to them again. And now they call us savages. They call us scum. They call us dogs. They call us subhuman. I was born in a little townland called Corranure in the county of Cavan about 46 years ago. Yes, it was 46 years ago, goodness. Now my parents were good, honest, Catholic Irish farmers. They had a small holding. And when, of course, the great linen industry came to Ireland, they decided to cash in on it. They decided that they were going to convert most of their fields to growing flax. Flax, that is the product that makes linen that you are wearing probably right now. Well, of course, like everybody else, they were making money from it. The Irish industry was booming, and then all of a sudden, I probably would have been about I was probably about 18 years old. The whole thing fell out of it. My parents, my family, like so many other small farmers, well, we were ruined. Now, you might say that it was our own fault, of course, for putting all our eggs in one basket, as it were, for only growing flax. But the good times were a-rolling. Well, they were. I watched my family starve. I saw my younger brother and sister die of starvation, and the same thing would have happened to myself. But our prayers to the Blessed Virgin Mary were answered. Now, before, of course, we fell to rock bottom, I had benefited from an education. Oh, yes. Now, the English, of course, had tried to stop us Catholic Irish being educated, but luckily for us, the Catholic Church looked after us, as they always do. Hedge schools, they call them. That's just another word for an illegal schooling. It only took place in people's houses. That didn't take place under the hedges. We aren't savages, you know. The priests educated us, so I benefited, as I said, from a proper education, and I was lucky. The local pharmacist realised that I was clever, and he took me on as his apprentice. So suddenly there I was on the brink of starvation, whisked away, given food, given a bed, and given training. Oh my goodness, the power of drugs, the power to heal or to kill. I was fascinated by it, and because of that fascination, I excelled. So much so that 10 years later, when Mr. O'Halloran, that was the pharmacist, sorry I should have said, when he decided he was going to retire, he asked me if I would take over running the business for him as his manager. I was delighted too. That was until the famine. Only those who have gone through the hell of the potato famine will understand what I'm talking about. To feel hunger clawing at your belly. To not know when you're going to ever eat again. To see your friends and your family starve to death. They've said millions have died or have left Ireland. I don't think we'll ever really know how many people. I was one of the lucky ones. I sold up what the few goods I had. Well, who was going to be buying drugs at this time? No one could afford to. I lost my job. But I said I had to put some money aside, and I used it to get a passage from Belfast to Liverpool. And I was even luckier. They didn't turn me back to Ireland. Can you believe that? Can you believe that those poor wretched souls who had sold everything and made their way to another land, to another world, to another life, hopefully, they were turned back, sent back to starve in Ireland. It breaks my heart to think of what actually happened to them. Well, you can probably imagine what happened to them. But I was lucky. I got to Liverpool. But I realised very quickly there was nothing for me in that city. Too small, too many people, well, too many poor people, I should say. So I made my way to London. And that's why I've ended up in this hellhole. This hellhole of St. Giles. A living hell. I'm stuck here now. I can't get out. That's it. That's my story. Well, thanks for listening. I'll be going now. What? What did you say? Who told you that? Don't go repeating that to anybody, please, please. I bless you, please don't be repeating that. All right, yeah, okay. As you're asking, yes, I'll tell you. Yes, I took part in the Young Irelanders Rebellion several years ago. That's the real reason I had to leave Ireland. I knew Mr. William Smith O'Brien personally. A good friend he was, and it was because of him, that I decided to take part. I was there at Ballingarry. I was one of the people fighting, and I escaped. A few of us did. Most didn't. Poor O'Brien, he didn't escape. The last I heard, he was being transported to Van Diemen's Land. Do you even know where Van Diemen's Land is? Other side of the world. Near Australia. Even if he survives the journey, months at sea, he'll probably never get back. But as I said, I escaped. Some of us managed to make our way to France, some even to America. I thought that the best place to hide was in plain sight, right under the noses of the authorities. So that's why I came to London. I'm biding my time. I thought the best place is hide here amongst these wretched souls who I call neighbours. But like I said, I'm biding my time, and no one comes looking for me here. And I'll tell you something else. You haven't heard the last of the Irish yet. One day, and don't laugh, Ireland will be free. Erin go bra.